A suspected drunk driver led a wild chase from Van Nuys to South Los Angeles Thursday night. Just before 9 p.m. on Friday, May 9, 2025, the suspect was driving an SUV on Interstate 170 in the San Fernando Valley. Several Los Angeles Police Department patrols were pursuing the fleeing driver.
Showing some signs of erraticism here. He's actually gotten really close to some of the other cars here. We haven't seen any actual collisions, but there is an airship overhead. They are pulling back slightly due to the amount of traffic on the freeway here, but they are keeping him in their sights. This is a pursuit. This all started in Van Nuys on surface streets, eventually ending up on the 170 freeway and then on to the 101 through the Cahuenga Pass just moments ago, as he is now making his way through Hollywood southbound on the 101 freeway. LAPD now following him over there, starting to make his way over to the right lanes, maybe showing signs of an exit or possibly just trying to get around some of this traffic. There has been a go-ahead for a pit maneuver if the opportunity presents itself, but right now in these conditions on the freeway, it is highly unlikely. At times, over in the Van Nuys area into North Hollywood, it was almost turning into a slow-speed pursuit. And that's when they said, go ahead, let's go ahead and give the go-ahead for that pit maneuver. In any event, they have now made their way onto the freeway where things are much different. But if they have an opportunity, once he gets back off the freeway, they will likely try that. Again, this is a DUI driver, unknown number of occupants in the vehicle. A last-minute exit here as he makes his way off the 101 freeway at Vermont Avenue at a high rate of speed here on the exit ramp. LAPD right behind him as he gets off the freeway. And he got right back on. He got right back on. It was a fake out there. He tried to get off of Vermont, now riding the right shoulder, southbound side of the 101 freeway, squeezing through traffic here, trying to evade those officers right behind him, swerving across the freeway. Much heavier traffic, heavy volume, airship overhead, night sun on that Chevy Tahoe, warning all of those drivers that there is a dangerous driver making his way down the 101 freeway, looking to make his way back onto the shoulder to try and get around some of this congestion here, maybe even getting off the freeway. He's got the exit ramp. Is he going to fake out again, or is he going to take the exit? He's taking the exit at Silver Lake Boulevard. Getting off the 101 at Silver Lake Boulevard at a high rate of speed. LAPD right behind him here, coming to a stop at a red light here. Going through it, making a left onto Silver Lake. That's going to put him back underneath the 101 freeway. You see a full pursuit package in tow here. At least 4 LAPD units pursuing this dangerous driver who is believed to be under the influence of something. You can see him now doing about the speed limit as he tries to traverse these roadways here in Hollywood. He's basically making his way now into a more residential area off of Silver Lake Boulevard, much narrower streets. And you can see a whole bunch of bicyclists right there at Bellevue Avenue and Reno, now making his way past Parkman Avenue, down Bellevue Avenue. Again, these are much narrower streets through Hollywood as those LAPD units continue. Now moving kind of into the Silver Lake area. You see the night sun right overhead here. That airship still able to maintain a visual here, but those LAPD units are fully engaged here, not pulling back after they did earlier. They have re-engaged fully and are now continuing this pursuit on surface streets. Now on to Benton Way, off of Bellevue Avenue, again doing about the speed limit here as he swerves around traffic right over the freeway. Suspects now traveling southbound Benton Way, maybe looking for an opportunity to dump the vehicle. Again, we don't know how many people are inside of that truck, but it does look like he's slowing down at least a little bit here. Southbound Benton Way through Temple, LAPD with a full 3 or 4. Why not just a second? I want to count a number of, so we got 4 total. 4 total black and whites in pursuit here as he continues slowly down Benton Way, now making a right turn on to Beverly Boulevard. Now going westbound on Beverly. Another last-minute turn here, making a left off of Beverly onto Lafayette Park. That primary unit able to make the turn with him there. You see the night sun right overhead as they try and get this suspect off the road here. This is going to be a much better climate for a pit maneuver if they can catch up here, and if he's going just the right speed here, they may be able to spin that vehicle out of control. But there are some cars out there now making a turn onto 3rd Street, a busier street here, and another random right here as pedestrians run across the crosswalk now onto Rampart Boulevard off of 3rd Street. A lot more cross traffic here as he comes up on 6th Street. You can see he's got the light going through the red here, making a left turn at 6th Street and Rampart, now on Coronado Street. Or I should say he's on 6th. He's on 6th. Another turn here, a random left turn, this time onto Grandview from 6th Street. LAPD now prepping for that pit maneuver. Again, these are very narrow streets, even narrower as we get further into the Westlake district here. Grandview Street coming up on Ocean View Avenue, going through it, taking Ocean View at a high rate of speed here and continuing this pursuit through the streets of Westlake just south of the 101 freeway. Another hairpin turn here, LAPD making the right turn with them. Off of Ocean View, now onto Lake Street. A narrow, look at this. Somebody pulling into a driveway here, a narrow gap. He was able to make his way through here, slowing down for that car, and now continuing down Lake Street, back towards 6th Street as LAPD tries to figure out a good opportunity to pit this vehicle. You can see more cars in the way here. Back onto busy 6th Street off of Lake, coming up on Alvarado Street, and another random turn here. He's kind of zigzagging his way through the Westlake district. We are just to the west of downtown LA as he continues this dangerous pursuit through a busy intersection here onto Wilshire Boulevard. This is going to take him right towards the 110 freeway and into the high rises of downtown LA. Let's see how close he gets to the freeway here. He is going eastbound on Wilshire, making a turn off of Wilshire onto Burlington Avenue. Those units making the turn with him, no problem here, and maybe some space for a pit maneuver. We'll see here. There's a couple of cars. They have to find a more empty gap here where they can actually make contact with that vehicle. They may have it in just a few minutes here, but they are in pretty dicey territory when he keeps zigzagging his way through these busy intersections. So you can see he's now making his way onto Bonnie Bray from 8th Street. Another red light here. He's now in oncoming lanes of traffic. Oncoming lanes of traffic. Bonnie Bray and 8th Street. What's he going to do? Is he going to go through it, or is he going to make a turn? He's making a left turn. Another left turn onto Wilshire Boulevard. Or 8th Street, I should say. Left turn onto 8th, over the double yellow lines. Again, this is a driver who is suspected of being under the influence. Now coming to a stop here, continuing through the intersection. That LAPD unit pulling right up on his left rear fender, maybe showing signs of that pit. Busier traffic here. Somebody crossing the street, going around traffic. And we might see the pit right here. Look at him coming right up along his left as he speeds up, applying a little bit of gas here just to accelerate through that pit attempt. And now you can see him now getting off, I think that's still 8th Street, I think. But he is getting closer to the 110 freeway. Eastbound 8th through Columbia, now coming up on the 110 freeway. Looks like he might be fixing to get onto the freeway, or is this going to take him underneath? 8th, underneath the freeway. 8th Street, underneath the 110 freeway. This is going to put him in downtown LA, where it will be much more difficult for that helicopter, at least, to keep eyes on him. It looks like he's taking the freeway, though. Northbound 110 freeway ramp. LAPD getting on the freeway with him. LAPD airship with eyes on him. They've got the airship overhead, eyes on him from above. Ground units right behind him, now on the 110 freeway. Getting off the 110 freeway, taking the exit ramp at 6th Street. Now heading eastbound 6th Street off the 110 freeway. Almost making contact with a light pole there, squeezing through here, and this is the challenge that LAPD airship is going to have here, keeping eyes on that suspect. They're really going to be relying on those ground units here to follow the suspect through the high rises in downtown LA. This is just an easy hiding spot if you're trying to run from a helicopter into downtown LA. There's so many opportunities, so many parking garages, so many tall buildings, and it looks like he's still on the run here. Continuing on 6th Street through Flower Street, making a right turn onto Flower. Southbound Flower from 6th, behind the buildings, LAPD continuing right behind him. There are LAPD units now ahead of him as well. A possible opportunity for a spike strip here. Continuing southbound Flower. Southbound Flower now getting back onto 8th Street once again, this time going westbound on 8th, coming up on a red light here as he speeds up to the intersection. He's now got the green light at Figueroa. Is he going to make the turn or continue through? He's continuing westbound on 8th Street, back towards the 110 freeway. He will have an opportunity once again to get on the freeway, or he could go underneath it again, right through the red light, coming up on the 110. Here he goes. Looks like he's going under the Harbor Freeway. He's going to come back out on the other side. Making a left turn now around traffic and finding the ramp. Once again, finding the southbound ramp onto the 110 freeway. Going underneath, taking that left turn, and now on the southbound side of the 110 freeway. Motorists on the freeway now hearing those sirens and pulling over, making way for this pursuit. Relatively light traffic on the 110 freeway. He's got multiple lanes to play with. Getting over to the number 2. LAPD right behind him. Southbound through Olympic, doing about 60 to 70 miles per hour. Picking up a little more steam here as he continues southbound on the 110 freeway. Now heading towards the 10 freeway. He will have an opportunity once again to get onto the 10, or he could bypass it and continue southbound on the 110 freeway, but it looks like he's going to start hugging that number 1 lane. And again, now going underneath the 10 freeway, committed to the 110. LAPD right behind him. California Highway Patrol monitoring this pursuit as well. LAPD has jurisdiction here, and they are going to keep it. They started this pursuit in LAPD's Van Nuys division. A suspect wanted for DUI, refusing to pull over. Felony evasion here that they are dealing with as he continues this dangerous chase down the 110 freeway. Just past Adams and now continuing southbound 110, LAPD. About 8 car lengths behind him, giving him a little bit of room to play with here, calculating their next move as he continues at freeway speeds, hugging that number 1 lane and basically committed to the 110 at this point. That could change in a heartbeat. He's had tendency to swerve across all lanes at once when he decides he wants to make a last-minute move. At times, even trying the fake out as if he was going to exit the freeway and then swerving right back over the gore point, making his way through Expo Park here, southbound 110 freeway in the number 2 lane. That primary unit closing the gap a little bit. Again, a full pursuit package in tow here as it continues down the 110 freeway. This all started in the San Fernando Valley, eventually onto the 170 freeway, through the Cahuenga Pass, onto the 101 freeway, into downtown LA after taking some surface streets, zigzagging through the Westlake district, and now heading into South LA, southbound 110 freeway underneath the express lanes there. You can see him continuing to hug that number 1 lane. A little more traffic as he gets further south here past MLK, and you can see a big slowdown that he's going to start thinking twice about as he starts approaching some of these exits. He's got Vernon Avenue right there, still in that number 1 lane. We'll see if he gets over here, but he does not like traffic. Every time he gets into a slowdown, he starts looking for an opportunity to get off, and we'll see if that trend continues. But right now, he does appear to be committed to the 110 freeway. Weaving around traffic. Weaving through some of this traffic now. We're going to hold here just north of Slauson as he makes his way down the 110 freeway. As we negotiate with air traffic control here, this shot is going to become a little bit more distant. At some point, we will come around and continue down the 110 freeway and pick this up on the other side. Right now, he is traveling away from Air 7. As we look from north to south down the 110 freeway. Again, 4 units right behind that black Chevy Tahoe. A DUI driver driving fairly erratically at times. He's maintained control of the vehicle for the most part and has shown some aggressive driving at various points, especially when they start to apply any kind of pressure on him. We've seen him become even more erratic, but now he is basically committed to the number 1 lane. Southbound on the 110 freeway, passing gauge. LAPD now blocking the 1 and 2 lanes, getting over to the number 3 lane, getting ready to get off the freeway if he continues using his signal here as he traverses the first 3 lanes, now making his way over to the right, potentially getting off at Florence Avenue. We'll see if he continues past Florence or not. But he is moving still further away from us, continuing southbound on the 110 freeway right there. And it looks like he's going to take the exit ramp. Taking the exit. Taking the exit at Florence. Yeah, let's go through. We'll go through and then we'll just look east. He's getting off going east. I'm sorry, west. We're going to look west. He's looking west, and he's moving westbound on Florence. Now making a turn here. He's made a turn. Now going back underneath the freeway. He's going to come out this side. He's coming out the east side now. All right, he's going to come towards us here as we make our way southbound on the east side of the 110 freeway. He's now moving away from the 110 freeway, got off the freeway, went underneath the freeway, and is now in the 80s as he makes his way eastbound through South LA. Just passing Broadway. '85th place from Manchester. Is that him, Josh? We're going to try and come around here and try and reestablish this shot as he continues making his way through southeast LA now on the east side of the 110 freeway. We're coming around here. We're going to hopefully catch up with him as he continues moving in our direction, obscured by the buildings here as he continues eastbound in the 80s. 84th place, eastbound 84th place. If you can find 84th, Josh, he's heading towards us on 84th place. Right in there. Over to the right. Yeah. Throw up your map. There he is, right there. Northbound San Pedro now. Northbound San Pedro from 84th. We're getting a glimpse here as he now makes another right turn coming in our direction. Eastbound 83rd now. Eastbound 83rd place through Town Avenue, and now it looks like he's coming to a slowdown here for the dip, and yeah, he's going to continue this pursuit. This DUI driver, again, still refusing to pull over here with a handful of LAPD units right on his tail. He is really just on a joyride at this point, enjoying. Once again, hopefully you're back with us here as we continue to follow this pursuit. It has moved down the block a little bit. The suspect moving that SUV about 1 block south, now once again coming to a stop at an alleyway. This is going to be just off of Avalon Boulevard. LAPD once again has the suspect at gunpoint. At one point he opened his driver's side door and then got back in the vehicle and continued on. Now we are at a full stop here. Suspect appears to be communicating, not showing his hands, but communicating as he looks back at those officers. And now the driver's side door is open. Driver's side door open. Suspect showing signs of getting out of the vehicle, but he is not complying. He is not cooperating. Maybe closing that door again. He's reaching for that door. Got about at least 8 or 10 officers at least right behind him. He's facing towards an alleyway that they are trying to block off on the other end here, setting up for spike strips on the far south end of the alleyway. LAPD basically has him surrounded from the rear. However, at one point, he even put it into reverse. And once again, it looks like he's getting back in the vehicle. He's gesturing towards those officers, not raising his hands. This is not good. Again, the suspect not complying, shutting the door, potentially continuing this pursuit. Let's see what he does here. He is still in the driver's seat. He looked like he was going to surrender. Now he's back in the driver's seat with the door closed, facing southbound through an alleyway down just off of 83rd Street.
The driver cut through traffic on Interstate 101 in Hollywood, then drove through narrow streets in Silver Lake and Westlake. The chase passed through downtown before the suspect reached the Interstate 110. From there, the driver exited the surface streets again and reached South Los Angeles. The chase eventually ended on Avalon Avenue, near 83rd Street, when the driver stopped. After a brief confrontation, the driver exited his vehicle and was arrested.